My parents favored my sister my whole life. Then she found out I had 12 millions and my parents demanded. Growing up, my sister Ashley could do no wrong. She got the bigger bedroom, the newer clothes, the car for her 16th birthday. I got hand-me-downs and a bike from a garage sale. My parents never hid it either. Mom would literally say things like, Ashley is just easier to love. Dad would take her to baseball games while I stayed home alone. When Ashley wanted to go to an expensive private college, they emptied their savings to pay for it. When I asked about college, Dad said I should just get a job and figure it out myself. So I did. I was 17 when I started working at this tech startup, just answering phones and doing data entry for minimum wage. The founder, Steve, was this weird genius who wore the same hoodie every single day. He saw I was good with computers and started teaching me basic coding. By 19, I was writing actual software for the company. Steve offered me equity instead of a raise because the company was broke. I said yes because I had nothing to lose anyway. 5 years later, that startup got bought by a massive tech company for $200 million. My 6% equity stake turned into $12 million overnight. I was 24 years old and suddenly rich. I didn't tell anyone at first. Not my parents, not Ashley, nobody. I kept working my normal job at the new company and lived in my same apartment. But I did hire a financial advisor who helped me invest most of it. Then Ashley got engaged. Her fiancé Brad was a lawyer from a rich family and they wanted this huge wedding. Ashley called me for the first time in like 2 years asking if I'd be there. Sure, I said, trying to keep my distance like always. The wedding was insane. Ice sculptures, live band, flowers everywhere. Must have cost 80 grand easily. After the reception, I overheard Ashley crying in the hallway. Brad's parents had promised to pay for everything, but backed out last minute. Ashley and Brad had to drain their savings and max out 3 credit cards to cover it. My parents took out a second mortgage on their house to help. I felt bad for like 2 seconds, then remembered they never helped me with anything. A few months later, some cousin posted about my company's acquisition on Facebook, tagged me and everything, saying congrats on the big payout. That's how my family found out. My phone exploded with texts and calls. Ashley was first. She didn't even say hello, just screamed, "You have $12 million and you let us go broke paying for my wedding?" Mom called next, crying about how I abandoned the family. Dad sent a long text about how I owed them for raising me. The next Sunday, they all showed up at my apartment unannounced. Ashley, Brad, Mom, and Dad just standing there expecting to come in. I let them because I wanted to hear what they'd say. Dad started the conversation, said that as my father, he deserved compensation for all the years he provided for me. Ashley jumped in saying I should pay off her wedding debt since we're family. Mom said the right thing to do would be giving them at least half, that I didn't earn it anyway, just got lucky. Brad just sat there nodding along like this was all reasonable. I let them finish their whole pitch. Then I pulled out my phone and opened my photos, started showing them pictures. Me at 12 wearing shoes with holes in them while Ashley got new Nikes. Me eating school lunch made from whatever I could find in the kitchen while Ashley got money for pizza. Report cards where I had straight A's with no acknowledgement next to Ashley's C average that got celebrated with dinner out. Dad tried to interrupt, but I kept going. I showed them my high school graduation photo where I'm standing alone because they skipped it to take Ashley prom dress shopping. Mom's face went white. You remember when I asked you to co-sign my student loans and you said no? I had to skip college completely, work full-time at 17 because you told me to figure it out myself. Ashley got $60,000 for private school. I got told to get a job. Ashley started crying, saying I was being cruel and bringing up old stuff, that we were family and family helps each other. I laughed. I actually laughed out loud. You're right, Ashley. Family does help each other. Where were you when I was eating ramen for every meal? Where were you when I was working 60-hour weeks at 19? Oh right, you were on vacation in Hawaii with Mom and Dad while I spent Christmas alone. Dad stood up and said I was being disrespectful, that they did their best and I turned out fine anyway. I opened my door and told them to leave. Mom begged, saying they might lose the house. I said that's what happens when you take out a second mortgage for a wedding that wasn't your responsibility. Ashley called me selfish. Brad said I'd regret this. Dad said I was no longer his son. I closed the door and blocked all their numbers. 3 years later, I'm still rich and they're still mad. Ashley sends me nasty emails on my birthday. Mom leaves voicemails about how I ruined the family. Dad tells relatives I'm dead to him. And honestly, I sleep great at night. Turns out you don't owe anything to people who never gave you anything in the first place.